Did he mislead Parliament? Yes.
Yes.
And as a result of that, should he resign? Yes.
Yes.
I don't think we can complicate that. And as anyone who knows me would know, I'm not someone who starts from an anti-Boris stance for very different reasons. There weren't any parties, or then they were, but they weren't parties, but I wasn't at them, but it turns out I was. He's been treating us as fools, and he thinks that just saying sorry is good enough. I'm afraid we're not as gullible as his various wives and mistresses over the years. The idea, harsh but I think fair, he thinks he can get away with these things. We keep being told, I've had so many Tory MPs on my radio show who tell me that the heat has gone out of this. I think the audience tonight tells us the heat hasn't gone out of it, and it certainly hasn't for me. And I'm sorry, this is not just about people missing funerals or missing being with their loved ones. It's much more than that. It's about fundamentally taking away our civil liberties, and we were told it was because it was saving lives. Now, key thing here, when people answered an email saying, yeah, I'd love to come to a bring your own booze party, and I'll bring the sausage rolls in Downing Street, those people, those dozens and dozens of people here, and they went to parties every week, by the way, when we were all locked in our homes and able to see our family members, they weren't going to those parties going, gosh, I hope I survive. I'll probably die, but I'll go anyway. They knew it was perfectly safe. They knew it was fine. They were young, they were healthy, they were not worried. And yet they imposed those laws on everyone else. And when you have a government and when you have people working in Number 10 who think that there are us little people who have to obey rules, but they're clever enough to know when they're safe, that is when you have an arrogant government and an arrogant Number 10, an arrogant Prime Minister who think they're above us. And I don't think we should ever be ruled by people who think they're better than us and know better than us. And I'm afraid he has to go, because we should have principles in our government that if you lie to Parliament, if you make laws that you then break, you have no business being in charge of this country.